Times Square, the center of human activity in this great metropolis, it's All Night with Joey Reynolds. I'm Big J Sorensen from CBS FM 101.1 and other media interests. Our guest tonight from TV's The Sopranos, Life on Mars, and currently starring on Detroit 187, Michael Imperioli. Hebrew School dropout, comedian Dave Konig. On the Board of Governors at the Friars Club, comedian Stephen Scott. A big man from Livonia Avenue in Brooklyn, an American treasure, comedian Stewie Stone. Riley from TV's The Lair, actor Brandon Ruckdashel. Recording artist, actress, author, and memories are made of this author, Dino's daughter, Deana Martin. And musical guest rock and rollers, the Bassenettes. And now, the guy who bullied Barack Obama for having big ears as a child in Hawaii, Indonesia, and perhaps other countries, Joey Reynolds.
I'm going to go back to drinking after that opening thing. What are you talking about? You're trying to get everything in at once. You're on CBS FM, Jay the Jock, I'm Big J, and how many things are you going to say? What are you promoting? You're on the air there one day a month.
Well, yeah.
So what the
I'll be on
hell's
the
big
20th,
deal?
by the way.
This is a television show on NBC.
I realize that.
And are you going to get on CBS and you're going to tell everybody that you're on the show?
Of course.
You better pray that
You're darn right. It's the first thing I say.
And I saw you sucking up with Stewie Stone in the other room too, because he opens for Frankie Valli, and you want to sit there and kiss his tuchus.
I like the guy.
He's here on the show. Of course, we like him. I like him too. So what's going on with you? I mean, all of a sudden you become one of those little media suckholes.
Yeah, right. And I'm gonna get a picture with Michael Imperioli too.
Yeah, I know. I know you're gonna get autographs on the way out now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I try to do that. In the early days of my career, it was usually accompanied by cash.
Okay.
But I didn't ever take money. I shouldn't say things like that. It's not fair. But I was just drinking at Dr. Brown, and we're wondering who Dr. Brown is.
I don't know.
Who is this guy?
I don't know.
I mean, what is it?
Dr. Pepper's long lost
brother. Yeah. Speaking of that, the Dalai Lama has stepped down.
Yes.
Officially. Nothing like being just half a llama. But he's going to be down to. I was thinking of something funny. Remember when Colin Powell's son was running the FCC?
Yeah.
I used to call him semicolon.
Ah.
That's a bad joke.
That's right.
The FCC doesn't think it's funny either.
No. But the Dalai Lama's successor, they can't find him.
Well, there's no successor. He's born into it. That's the point.
But he's missing.
No. Wait a minute. The Dalai Lama is a birth position. He is. I mean, if you match religions, you're not supposed to do this, but he would be what Jesus was to the Buddhist religion, I think.
Right.
He's born into this. He was sent here by God to be this imperial leader. Am I saying that? I hope I'm getting this right. I don't know how to really express it, but it's a belief. It's a religious belief. And in Tibet, where they have the monks, they have monasteries and monks, like we did when I was a kid. We had monks and monasteries and nuns. We had that Sister Mary Butch, who was running our convent. That I was in Catholic school. I think everybody who watches the show knows that. I mentioned it a couple of times. And I was a devout bingo player. And what we did, it's Lent, so we're in a holy season, and they finally have found out what I don't know how to express this without getting into too much trouble. So I got to be a little careful because I don't want people to think I'm picking on my own religion, let alone anyone else's. Mm-hmm. But the Catholic Church has a belief, and I'm going to have the bishop here. We got a really cool bishop, this Bishop Dolan. He's from St. Louis, I think, originally, and he's very fun. Mm-hmm. And I narrated the Midnight Mass. This 1 year I narrated it, and I ad-libbed, so they didn't ask me back the next year, because the church is very rigid. Yeah. And I think the belief system is firm, about what's going on, and was a miracle with Our Lady, the Blessed Virgin Mary, as we say in the Catholic Church. It's going to look like you're looking at a religious broadcast if you're just waking up. But I want to tell the story about what happened with her. She, the Blessed Virgin, had given a letter to the children at Fatima in Portugal to be opened in 100 years by the Pope, whoever the Pope was going to be at that time. And you would then be revealed what was said to these children. And it would be documented in writing. So this Pope John, who was the Pope at the time, John Paul, opened this letter from the kids from Fatima, which was 100 years ago. And you know what it was, don't you know what it was?
No.
It was the bill for the Last Supper.
Ooh.
Bad news.
Not Stewie now, please.
I guess. And now, are we going to get mail now? Will they get that call over at NBC? Now, don't stare at me. What did I do? Something wrong?
No, not at all.
Daniel, come over here. Come here.
Oh, boy.
You tell me to put on a happy. Do not talk. Just come over here. You do not have to be mic'd. I just want to put your charming face on here. We don't have an audience. You know, I don't have anybody to.
We have a great crew here.
You don't have to talk. I don't have. We're going to get a mic. I don't have a show that has an audience. All right. So you know, I kind of rely on. Here's your mic. Is this on now?
No, we do have audience because we have the rating system, don't we?
No, that's too late. Now, by the time you get ratings, you're off the air. Here we are. I mean, I want people to join. I don't want to be Jay Leno. You know, I mean, Jay does a fine job. Who's the other guy that's on? Letterman?
Letterman,
Yeah.
Conan.
Fine job.
18 other guys.
Wonderful guys.
Yeah.
You know, they're all set. Jon Stewart. They have ties and jackets. They sit at a desk. They tell jokes with, 12 writers or whatever. And they come out. I don't have a script. I have nothing to go on. You know, I am like what happened in the subways in New York. I'll tell you what happened. You remember we used to have the toilets downstairs in the subways? I don't know if you ever knew that. We used to have bathrooms in the subways.
Not anymore.
And what happened was people were starting to steal the toilet seats.
Lovely.
They take everything here in New York. And in the Port Authority bathroom, this is a famous crime.
Yeah.
The police were trying to figure out who's taking the toilet seats. And they had nothing to go on. Now, see, if there were an audience here, there might be a laugh. But there's no audience here.
Well, consider me your audience.
Yeah, right. We got Big J.
We have Jay, we have Mike, Joe.
And you got you and Steve staring at me all during the whole show. I mean, that's not an audience. I mean, I feel like
and we have people outside the window. We have speakers out there.
they have
right.
umbrellas and they're getting ready for the monsoon, which we're going to have
Hey,
here.
look, we go wave.
Hi there, how are you guys?
Hey,
Hello.
see, we have
Good to
speakers
have
out there.
you here.
There goes your audience.
All right, that's the whole audience. That's the entire audience.
That's it right there.
You know, it's almost bedtime for Bonzo. Remember that?
Yeah, I do.
All right, now I want to. We're not going to do the pilot right now. I want to show what happened with Morton Downey. Right? Is that right, you guys? Ask the control room. The thing with Morton Downey.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Because I want to set this up. All right, now, do you know who Morton Downey Jr. is?
Yes.
That's not Robert Downey.
No.
Robert Downey.
He had the Channel 9 show.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Okay. Now, Morton Downey Jr. and I were roommates years ago.
Get out.
No, I mean, he's a lot older than I am, but now he's gone. But, he was a roommate of mine in Syracuse.
And you worked at the same radio
on the air
station.
there.
Yeah.
And we were good friends. So, when he scandalized himself on the television here, he was let go.
Now, was this a show on WWOR? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Channel 9.
He was a
And it was a
pablum
syndicated
puker.
show.
No, I used to watch it all the time. As a kid.
Yeah, he was a loudmouth, right?
I'm sorry. I don't.
Right.
Yes.
That's all right. Just want you to just make a little association here. Okay. So
he
Morton
knows
Downey
that.
Jr. was a guy who had a big rating. He was the #1 guy in the country. And when he fell out of grace with the industry and had put a swastika on his forehead in a mirror in San Francisco as a promotion and said it was a neo-Nazi group, the problem was that the swastika, since he put it on in a mirror, was backwards. So, he kind of got caught. Now, I love him, and he's great. He was my longtime friend. And I decided that I would take some cameras when he had left here to go to L.A. He did a movie with Danny Glover. He did The Predator. And I followed him around with the cameras for a week or 2 or 10 days. And it would have been, if we had put this stuff on the air, the first reality television show in history, because of the nature of it, which is me following him around. And he smoked, and he was pretty active. Now, I have the tapes, which I shot, which have never been on the air. I gave them to King World to put on the air, and they sent them to New York here to Inside Edition, which was hosted by Bill O'Reilly in those days. Right. And that show did not want to run it as a little piece. But I wanted a whole half hour of this every week, I thought. And it would have been a reality show, right? Now, you never saw this.
No, I haven't.
All right. So here, now stand here. You can watch this. We're going to put it up on the monitor. Now there's two pieces here. First of all, just get the idea that I'm following him around with cameras. All right. And there was a bad situation at that time. How long ago was this? 20 years?
20 years, it's got to be close to it.
And you know, he was smoking, and also the economy was bad. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
So now watch this as he goes on television with a roofer. We'll do this first piece here. So here's how this thing began. Here's Morton Downey Jr. now, and this is what happened in LA when I followed him around with cameras. Here we go.
You know, maybe some of that dialogue from that woman yesterday, I can pick it up and we can narrate it. She's off camera, but there's an angle there. You know, she said something that I really, well, you know.
Good morning, Bill.
Morning, how are you?
I'm fine, partner. How you doing?
Pretty good. Who are you?
Who are you?
I'm Bill.
I know who you are. You don't know me.
No, I don't.
That's good. Is that your truck downstairs?
Yes, sir.
Is that getting you business?
Yeah, a little bit.
Did you get this business because of that truck?
No, because Ron knew me.
Ron knew you.
Who am I on?
I'm Morton Downey Jr.
Oh, that's right. You look familiar, yeah.
Okay, you just recognized the mouth. Right?
Yeah, that's right.
All right, let me ask you a question. In these economic times, all right, they're kind of tough.
Mm-hmm.
Are you making them better for yourself by getting out there and really hustling with that sign?
Well, naturally, yeah.
We took a picture of your truck.
Uh-huh.
It's a good message. Do people believe it?
Well, they do after I've been out there once, yeah.
They give you the shot to get out there?
Yeah, they do.
Are your prices higher or lower?
Lower.
Well, how do you live if they're lower?
I do good work, I get more business.
Let me ask you a question. 4 years ago, were you better off than you are today?
No.
Are you better off today than you were 4 years ago?
Yeah.
Do you give credit for that to George Bush?
No.
If you were doing poorly today and you had done great 4 years ago, would you blame the president for that?
Not necessarily, no.
What do you think's going on in this country now with the economic problems we're having? Whose fault is it? What's going on?
I don't know. I think a lot of it's got to do with George Bush has got to accept a lot of responsibility for that. A lot of it's also the fact that we don't buy American. A lot of people aren't buying American. Shell is, what, 2/3 of our deficit is in Japan.
All right, okay, so here's a guy, you're working hard, you're doing better than you did 4 years ago, and you know that 2/3 of our deficit, of our trade deficit, is in Japan. Do we make better automobiles than Japan does?
I think now we do, at least as good, if not better.
So what do you think we have to do to turn that around? Do we have to all of a sudden say to the Japanese, you can't sell your cars here anymore?
No, I don't think so. I don't think we can do that.
How often do you work? Let me ask you a personal question, all right? And you can tell me, go to heck, you know, you don't need to answer it. Do you make at least $30,000 a year doing this kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Did you make at least $30,000 a year doing this kind of stuff 4 years ago?
Yeah.
You did. So you're doing...
I'm doing better now than I did 4 years ago.
Why? Why are you doing better?
Well, I think part of it's with the economy the way it is now, people are forced to repair more than replace. And that's ideal for a person like me.
How many hours a week do you work?
40 to 50.
So you work a normal work week?
Yeah.
Get to take a vacation once in a while?
A couple of years ago I did.
What kind of hospitalization do you have?
None. I don't get hurt. I can't afford to.
Uh-oh, what happens if you get hurt?
I don't work. I don't get paid.
You wiped out?
Yeah.
So therefore you think we should have some sort of a health plan in this country that everyone can afford?
Well, there has to be. Yeah, I think so.
Does that mean nationalizing medicine?
I'm not really qualified to answer that question. I don't know. I know that we have to do something, though.
What?
Make it more affordable.
How?
If I knew that, I'd be president.
You trust the insurance companies?
No, not at all.
Think they overcharge you?
They rip us off, yeah.
So we shouldn't maybe go through the insurance companies then?
What other way is there?
How about the government?
Well, they haven't been doing such a good job for us either.
So who do we turn to? Ourselves?
Well, that's what I've been forced to do, yeah.
So if you have an accident, you're out of business?
Well, it depends on the severity of the accident.
But you'd work through sickness?
Well, I've had before, I have to. If I don't work, I don't eat.
Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome.
Oh, one question before I leave.
Yeah.
Do you have condoms when you have sex?
Got to.
Why?
I don't want to get AIDS.
So you're not monogamous.
We're not married.
Take care, pal.
Wow.
Well, now, you could have made that tape last week
Yeah.
with what's going on, right?
It looked like the raps.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is something like, oh, well, like when I go out on the street, you mean?
Yeah, it was like the Joe Reynolds rap before the raps.
Do you think I stole it from Morton Downey?
Probably, did you?
What am I interviewing you like this for?
Notice all you had to do was swap Japan with China,
And
that would
Bush
have been.
with Obama. You know, I mean, in other words, it's always the same,
Yes,
isn't
it
it?
is. Nothing
now,
ever changes.
Here's another one. Let me just take this one last minute here. This is the one with a guy who was retired on a beach in Santa Monica. All right. Now listen to this one. If you think the problems in America are any different now than they were, or they're going to be different in 30 years, they're probably not. Well, take a look at this thing with Morton Downey Jr. when we walked on the beach. And be patient with this, because wait till you hear the punchline on here. Here we go.
Question. What do you think of what's going on now that old people have to live on the beach like that?
I think it's a terrible thing. I think that they should be taken care of.
Who should take care of them?
We.
Okay.
We,
the
government should take care of
the
them.
meaning us, the taxpayers, right?
Everybody. Hey,
Is there any plan that you would have that we could take care of people who are homeless, whether they're old or whether they're have some sort of a deficiency?
well,
You believe there should be homes for these people?
yes, there was one time a department called HUD, and until
Housing and Urban Development. It still exists under
still exists.
Jack Kemp.
Under better hands than they had before, and but for the fact that they felt that golf courses and swimming pools were more important than the homeless.
Do you live in
That's
this?
why
Do
we
you live
have
in this area yourself?
Not too far from here.
Not too far.
Yeah.
When you see the homeless, do you ever do anything to help them yourself?
Always.
Always. Like what?
Always. I'm an easy giver,
Good for you.
and I don't mind giving.
How about today versus 4 years ago? Are you better off today than you were 4 years ago?
Well, my situation hasn't changed much, but the world has changed plenty, and not for the better.
You think it's our fault? The politicians' fault? Whose fault is it?
Well, it's we've become a nation of greedy people up on the top, not on the middle class or the poor. They'll always be.
When the election comes, are you going to vote this time?
I always vote. I don't.
Would you vote for the same person you voted for the last time? Notice I didn't ask you who you voted for last time.
I know. That person wouldn't be running.
The person you voted for.
Yeah.
So are you going to vote for the incumbent this time, or perhaps for something to change?
A change.
A change. Thank you very much.
We're still
So
looking
you
for-
probably thought you were watching Fox.
Right.
Or the Morton Downey Jr.
Right,
show,
right,
right?
exactly, yeah.
He lives.
Yeah. Notice the word change.
Well, isn't that interesting to
Yeah.
have those moments, though?
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
how nothing's changed.
Nothing's
I mean,
changed.
And you know, so Clinton used to say, "It's the economy's stupid." It doesn't matter who the president is, and it doesn't matter what happens. The greed is still here. AIG today decided they're going to pay back some of the money they took. Yeah, well, come on. All I know is that you're getting a raise tonight. I'm going to give you a raise, okay? Oh, I don't have my wallet with me. I guess I'll have to take it away. Do you like working on the show?
Oh yes, I love working
Yeah?
on the show.
Are things
I
any
love working
different
on
than
the
they
show.
were 4 years ago? No, what do you think of all that stuff that you were just watching? You know? How do you process it as a young man?
Oh, young man, basically it's nothing that I haven't read throughout the times. It's like this is always reoccurring. This is
Right. So this is the way it is, right?
We're all going to hit depression at one point or another.
So didn't we have a lot of laughs during this monologue?
Oh yes.
Oh, I thought it was sensationally funny.
We're always
Look at
laughing.
Steve's over there yawning, sitting down. On
Yeah,
his-
really.
All right, so we're going to bring a little audience in here.
Yeah, we actually have live people on the show tonight.
Yeah, we actually have some guests coming out here, folks. But I wanted to share that with you. I
That's
figured
good.
this is something. Oprah last night, Morton Downey tonight. You know, I mean, come on, let's bring some things to the television that aren't on. You're not going to get these on all those other channels.
Are we going to have Arsenio Hall next week?
Arsenio Hall has the greatest fingers. You ever see those fingers that he has?
They're all made up too.
They're the longest fingers in show business. You would like to go bowling with that guy. All right, we're going to take a break and come right back. Oh, Michael Imperioli's here tonight.
Yeah.
Who's coming out right after this? We got a couple of what?
I'm not sure who's first.
I know who it is. Stewie Stone.
Oh, Stewie.
All right, yeah. All right, we'll be right back. And it's all night. So, you know, we do this all night in case you're bored now. Come on back. We'll be doing something different when you wake up.
All night long.
Stop.
When New York celebrities have something to say, they head for the stoop.
This is my stoop. I gotta come to the stoop.
Talk Stoop.
I feel like we're so close that we could kiss. This is a whole other kind of stoop.
It's where Kat Greenleaf gets people talking.
What? Really? Yep. That's amazing. Yes. Listen, Naked. Do you mind if I call you Naked? Tell me something good.
The best of New York on a stoop in Brooklyn.
The celebrity butts that have graced the stoop.
Talk Stoop, weeknights at 8 on New York Nonstop. Sponsored by Cozy. Life should be delicious.
I'm an anchor and a pilot.
I am passionate about chocolate.
I am a ballerina.
I'm the daughter of a jazz musician.
I am a 4-time New York Golden Glove champion.
I'm my grandpa.
Yeah, I'm a grandma.
I'm interested in the story behind the story.
I'm making this look natural.
I am glamorous.
I'm an anchor and a blues girl.
I am all about my craft.
I am New York.
I am New York.
I'm a New Yorker.
I am New York.
I am New York.
I recommend a steak.
This place is
really
I recommend this place.
We're all about New Yorkers. LX New York. It's the story of the moment. A taste of the best. It's opening night. A helping hand. The characters of New York. The spirit of New York. Told our way. LX New York. Weekdays at 5. We're all over town.
All right, we got to lighten it up a little bit now that I showed the serious. We don't usually get political on the show, but Morton Downey Jr. is an exception. I think he was a major political activist. He was a lobbyist for Robert Kennedy, you know.
Yeah.
And had a big background. His mother was a movie star, and his father was Morton Downey, the Irish tenor, who was the #1 star in America at one time. And we had a little royalty there. You know, he went to school with the Kennedys. Mm-hmm. And I think
it showed a different side of him that I think most people never got to see.
Yeah, well, I wanted to show a little bit of, first of all, in memoriam.
Yeah.
But I wanted to show that there is a sensitivity, and it hasn't changed. We haven't really grown an inch in our economy and our political beliefs. We have stayed right there.
But I think there are bigger fights going on now than have been going on in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
I really do. I think today there's a lot of upheaval going on.
Well, what is the fight over right now? The fight
money, bargaining, unions. It's all about that.
Well, you know, money's the end result of work, and it got screwed up because we're making money the work. Money is not supposed to be anything except what you get for what you do.
Right.
I know we've seen so little of it, haven't we?
Especially in our business.
We're going to bring Stewie Stone out here, who will shed some light on us because he's been working for 38 years with Frankie Valli.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got one job that lasts that long, you're quite a guy.
He's good to go.
Here he is, Stewie Stone. Stewie.
Hey, there we go.
You know, we're lucky to have him because it's past his bedtime.
You're not kidding.
And he's schlepping, too.
Schlepping.
Yeah. Why, Stewie, how are you?
How we doing? What are you doing up so late?
I stayed here just for you.
I'll tell you the truth. This is one of the most exciting evenings I've ever had to watch Morton Downey Jr. I didn't watch him when he was hot. Why am I going to sit here? Why did you have his father? You remember his father was a great Irish tenor.
That's right.
Oh, I tell you the truth. I almost didn't make it. They offered me Charlie Sheen's job, but I said I'd rather do the Joey Reynolds show. Oh. What am I going to do with $1.8 million? It would only mix me up.
Well, he's crazier by the minute they say.
Oh, he's a sore winner.
Yeah.
I mean, that shows you what America is today. They don't care about talent. I mean, if a girl has a big behind, she gets her own series, and she makes $65 million. Talent holds you back in show business today. I could have been a big star. I had too much talent. My problem is I got to be ugly, not funny, and I got to do something crazy, like do your show actually at 12 o'clock at night. But I want to sleep over here tonight because I want to buy a stock first thing in the morning.
I was going to offer you a room here because we have that very NASDAQ room, you know, which is where you sleep with your head in a safe.
This is so exciting. To watch I feel like Dave Garroway.
Now, you get a chance, as Jay has said to you off the air, and to me also, you're one of the funniest people he ever met. He knows every routine of yours, except every time you come out, you do something new, and it throws him into a new place of respect. Isn't that right?
You always you take one little turn, and it makes me fall down.
Well, that's the greatest thing about stand-up. You know, I always would say, you know, that stand-up comedy is the only pure American art form. Because if you say jazz was brought over from Africa and came up through New Orleans. Broadway comes from Gilbert and Sullivan and all that.
English.
But stand-up comedy is an American art form.
That's true. It is. And it did start here, didn't it?
Yeah.
And it died here, too.
It died Thursday when I worked there.
So you're with Frankie at Westbury.
Westbury.
April 1, 2,
2
and 3?
I don't know. Do they still call every hour they're changing?
Oh, it's a bank-owned thing.
Yeah.
It was
Every
a bank.
hour another bank buys it.
It doesn't matter. It's the place
still
where
call it Westbury.
It's Westbury Music
I
Fair.
call it the Westbury Music Fair. As
Yeah.
soon as I walk out on stage, and then there's always somebody correcting me.
Well, you know, Pat Cooper was doing a matinee there one Sunday, and he was belly aching that he can only get an afternoon audience. You know, he makes everything funny.
But he's hilarious.
Now, when you do this thing, this humor, will you do any Charlie Sheen things on the stage? I don't think you really.
I don't care about. You want to know something? He annoys me.
Yeah.
And a funny thing about comedy, you have to believe in what you're doing.
Yeah.
If you don't believe comedy, you know, if you're not real, I don't care about this guy. This guy's is worth probably $100 million now.
Yeah.
He annoys me because he has two goddesses. You know, that's really, and he's not Mormon. This really pisses me off. I mean, I got better things to worry about. The world is crumbling. This guy's worth $100 million. He's got 6 houses. He's got 2 beautiful hookers who, if he wasn't Charlie Sheen, would brush him. This guy thinks he actually has a personality. He has nothing. If I had $100 million, I'd have 4 girls like that.
Now, I think you saw the little piece with Morton Downey, right?
Yeah.
You saw that nothing's changed?
It never changes. And comedy, you know, you do the same political jokes 4 years later. It fits the president, whether it's Reagan or Bush or Carter. It's interchangeable because they all screw up the same way. And half of America is going to hate the president that's in, and half will go the other way. It's a 50-50 country.
Now, in the equation now, though, is we got the overseas rumbles, which we didn't used to have.
Right.
And they're using it as an excuse to raise gas prices, which I don't know how that got into the thing, but you know, it's $5 a gallon or something like that in L.A. Why is it so high? What did we do?
I get a can and I have it filled up and I gift wrap and give it to friends. You know, if you think about it, I hate to intellectualize.
No, please.
On this show, please.
It'll lose my whole image if I actually am bright. What happened is, in this country, you and I have seen, and great changes in the country. We've gone to the moon. we've artificial hearts. We're living longer. Everything has changed except oil.
Yeah.
Now, we've changed everything but oil. Now, isn't it kind of scary to think that this country can't find a substitute for oil? We get it out faster, but we haven't found the substitute. There was a great movie. Did you see The Formula?
Sure.
With George C. Scott?
Yeah.
Where they had the formula for to make gasoline out of water, and they were killing everybody. Well, I think in some safe, someplace, there's a formula. And it's a Jewish guy that has this thing that says, you don't pay me, I will drop this on the market. And nothing changes. Look, you just said that the Pope had a letter delivered, took 100 years. Same bad postal service.
You know, watching the Morton Downey things, back to that again for a second, I wanted to show how he was very sensitive to real people and insensitive to management on the television. You know, when he was on TV, he was always loud and government. But you know, we really haven't. I guess what I'm trying to say is this: the richest guy in the world is a Mexican. You saw that?
Right.
He's got billions of dollars. So how can that guy be in a country that's the poorest country as our neighbor, the poorest neighbor we have, and he's got billions of dollars, and he's choking everybody to make profits in that country? Why doesn't someone do something?
Well, I honestly believe that we're not going to live to see it, but all that will be left in America is billionaires and government employees.
Yeah.
Everybody else will be busted out.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty soon you're not going to be able to drive places. And people don't realize gasoline affects a lot of things. If it's that expensive, you're going to think twice before you drive to a movie, before you drive to the mall, before you do anything. And it's basically, it's highway robbery. We in this country, we elect a politician who spends all his time working on getting reelected.
Right.
He doesn't worry about us. He worries about getting reelected. If you took corporate money out of politics and you gave the president running for the presidency, you get $50 million. Every American gives $2 tax it, and he gets $50 million. The other guy gets $50 million, and that's it. You know, and the same thing with a congressman or a senator, because they're not working for us. They're working for the people that will get them elected. And your vote and my vote doesn't get them elected. Dollars get them elected.
So the regular people ought to have the same medical plan as the congressman.
Exactly. And if you pay me enough money at Westbury, I will throw the show for the oil company.
We got a friend coming out here. Deana Martin is coming in.
Oh, I loved her father. I must tell you, I used to work, it was the MGM and then it became Bally. And Dean would always, I was working at that time with Engelbert Humperdinck, who was a wonderful human being. I once said when they sentenced John Gotti, they gave him a choice, life of imprisonment or 2 weeks on the road with Humperdinck. He took life imprisonment. Only guy in show business I hate. I hate him. I hope his hair cracks. Anyway, we worked Toronto, O'Keefe Center once, and the review was Engelbert walked on stage looking like the ornament on a Rolls Royce hubcap.
Hood ornament.
But Dean would always stay in Engelbert's house.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't. We would open the next night, and we'd come in a day early. So that night we would stay in the hotel. We would always go in and see Dean, and he was the most amazing performer ever. And he never changed the line, but he did it with such charm that he was unbelievable. I personally think of all of the Rat Pack and the Sinatras and everything, he was basically the most multi-talented of them all. He could do everything. Sinatra was sensational, but I think Dean had a natural wit that Sinatra didn't have. Sinatra tried to be funny, but Dean was naturally funny.
Well, we're gonna bring his daughter out here. How about that?
Yeah. As long as it's not Morton Downey Jr.
No.
Did he die yet?
Yes, he did.
Thank God.
Stewie Stone and Deana Martin is coming out in just a second. Be right back. There we go.
Hi, Joey. It's me. I made it. We just got off the flight, and I can't wait to come out here and see you and talk with you. And I'm going to be at Feinstein's on Sunday and Monday night, the 13th and 14th. So don't miss it. Hi, everybody. We're going to have fun.
I'm Elizabeth Hasselbeck. If you're like me, you probably don't have a lot of free time to exercise and keep yourself in shape. For me, the answer is the Ab Glider from Proform. I can't tell you how much I love this amazing machine. It's a great fat-burning cardio workout, too. And it's fun.
Unlike other ab machines, the Ab Glider combines circular and crunch motions for a fast, fun workout of your entire midsection. You engage more muscles, get a better cardio workout, and burn twice the calories of other ab machines.
I went from an 11 to a size 4. 20 inches total. It's really easy and it's fun.
With this offer, you'll get an onboard workout computer, Elizabeth's 3-minute rapid results DVD, and her amazing abs instructional DVD, plus her amazing abs eating guide, a $159 value, free. Try the Ab Glider now for 30 days, risk-free for as little as $14.95. If you're not totally satisfied, you can return it for a full refund.
You can't find a better way to get better abs at a better price. And getting started is easy. Just call or go online to proform.com.
Are you holding the remote right now? It's nice to be in control, isn't it? To fast forward to the good parts? Oh, hold on. We're getting to the good part. If you're receiving a structured settlement from a lawsuit, you know it is not easy to wait for payments, especially when it could be 10 or 20 years before you collect all your money. What you may not know is that you can skip ahead and receive a lump sum of cash now. Call CBC Settlement Funding for a free, no-obligation offer about your structured settlement. Whether you access all or just a portion of your future payments, we put you in control so you can fast forward and collect your money now. If you need cash now, call the number on your screen and find out how CBC Settlement Funding can help. We'll guide you through the process so you can take control of your finances and get your money faster. Call CBC Settlement Funding today.
One of the people who is not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I think should be, is Connie Francis. And in June, they're going to celebrate her. The Friars will have a celebration, which is closed to the public. But Stewie was just telling me about it, and he's putting a list together, and he called Bobby Vinton. Now, you know, Bobby's a friend of mine. Right. And he's from my parents' hometown when they came here, which is Canonsburg, yeah. Right. And also Perry Como's from there. Right. But Bobby's mad at Perry Como because they gave Perry Como Boulevard, and they gave Bobby a cul-de-sac on a dead-end street. So, you know.
That's because he's Polish.
That's right, exactly. Whoa, whoa. Hello. Here's Deana Martin. Deana, come on out and let's say hello. Thank you for coming here tonight. She's gorgeous. Oh, Lonnie. Whoa.
Oh, yes. Did you say Deana Martin?
Good night.
Deana.
Did I say Deana?
Joey. Yes.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's Dean with an A.
I make mistakes.
That's all right. We all do. You want me here?
Yeah, come on.
All right, excellent.
Look how beautiful. Look at this. How'd you let yourself go like this?
I know.
You have to start working out. I mean,
I'm going to try. I'm going to try.
Don't go out on a windy day. You walk in the street today, you'll wind up in Cleveland.
I know, it's crazy out there. Wow, this is your new digs.
I know. Last time we were in a cave.
Yes, we were.
You and I.
Yeah, we were with the headsets
and loincloths.
Yeah. I preferred it. No, this is
well,
great.
you're an uptown lady. You're Feinstein's, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't that exciting?
It's great.
Yes, and I'm a friar.
Are you?
Yes.
Your father was a friar.
I know. I know.
I didn't know that you were. When did you join? Is it recent?
It's been years.
Yeah.
Hasn't it been?
You?
As a matter of fact, we honored you. We did a luncheon when you talked about your book.
That's exactly right.
I didn't know that.
And I had one of the first Friars Club, the female, I guess that's what I am, a woman at the Beverly Hills Friars Club.
Yeah.
And I had one of the first cards, and that was Uncle Milty got me in there.
Did you ever go to the one in California?
Yeah.
I've been there. You know, that's the one that has that buffet.
Yes, it's gone.
I know.
They ripped the building out. But you want to know something? That was the best facility. If we had that building where we are now, because the showroom sat 300 people, and it was a great building. It's amazing it couldn't make a go of it. I think the only reason we allowed it to happen was because we loved Milton Berle. And
that's right. And then that thing went on up.
Well, actually,
I'm not going there.
Milton, starting with the gin game, they got Tony Martin for a lot of money.
That's right.
But you know, Milton Berle lent the Friars the money to buy the building we're in now.
Yeah.
He originally looked at the building.
It's a beautiful building.
He looked at the building, was going to live there, but his wife didn't like it. So he lent us the money to buy the building. It was so generous of him for a lousy 27% interest for the last 30 years.
No, it's a good one.
Now, Deana, you've been performing for a long time, singing these great songs and keeping the Italians happy.
That's right.
Now, what about everybody else? Are we going to get away from Volare?
Oh, of course. Well, you know, tonight I may do a little Uncle Frank Sinatra with a little Lady as a Tramp.
We were all, I want to say it on the air because I don't think we talked this way before. I don't usually talk about her father when she's here because I talk about her. And I wanted
Go ahead, Tom.
Well, tonight I will because I've been watching the Friars roast that they've reactivated now. And, you know, they're putting them together on DVDs and selling them. And there's a lot of shows around him now again. It was quiet for a while. You know, I mean, we didn't have all of those things. They pushed the reactivate button, and now it's Dean Martin's roast. And you realize, well, you know where I know.
Oh, my gosh.
Now I'm going to tell you what it was.
Okay.
I was in Vegas for the Consumer Electronics Show in January, and I visited Charlie Callis, who passed away
we miss him.
2 weeks later after I left, and I never had a clue that he was. I saw him at home, and there were 6 other people in that, and he sat up and he was holding a teddy bear, and it was sad. And I had a wonderful last experience with him of talking to him, but you know, he talked about Dean Martin. And that was his recollection in that conversation we were having with the nurses that night, because they didn't know who he was. They didn't know who Charlie was.
Oh, what a shame.
And you know, the nurse on duty was, you know, she didn't have a sense of his background. She was too young. And I had to tell her about doing Hermione Gingold and the whole thing about, you know, Maurice Chevalier and Gigi and everything that Charlie ever did, plus the Pete's Dragon Boys. And your dad's roast, where they brought that out now. And it's one of the funniest things. You've seen that thing with Charlie Callis.
He was so funny.
The original roasts, which we sold with Craft Music Hall, there are 6 that are being released now, which are unbelievable classics. Jack Benny, one roast, Johnny Carson. But they had Charlie Callis doing...
Georgie Jessel.
Doing come to berry season, not to praise him. The Honorable Julie. Yeah. Julie, what a wonderful guy Julie was. But I must say a great Charlie Callis story. When I was working in Vegas years ago, we went to see Elvis Presley. And Elvis, you know the Colonel. And when everybody did 2 shows, Elvis did 1 show opening night, and everybody was invited, and that press would say, everybody comes to see Elvis because you got a free meal, and I was sitting at the table with Charlie Callis, and somebody walked over to him and tapped him on the shoulder and said, "Hi, my name is Red Skelton. I'm a comedian too, and I think you're one of the funniest guys I have ever seen," and left. And Charlie was in shock. Yeah. Red Skelton, humble, I'm a comic too. Imagine Red Skelton saying.
Yeah, that's great. That's excellent.
Well, we have a rich tradition with Dean Martin. The roasts were never better.
Oh,
they were first class. He was always clean, that's another thing I noticed.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever did any of this.
No.
He was never vulgar, but you know the roasts were a little bit raw, but he wasn't. I don't think.
But you know, but they were so funny, and the people that were on there. I mean, everybody was on there.
You know, you know the difference, because I've been a Friar for many years and I've done a bunch of roasts. The difference was, in those days, everybody were friends. In show business, you roasted somebody, the dais were his friends, and there were inside jokes, and it was cute. Yeah. Unfortunately, the young people of today, the stars, they have no friends. They're not,
and they don't know each other.
They don't know each other.
So
they don't hang together.
Yeah.
And you want to roast one. Who should we get? I don't know. Who do you want to get?
Well, if we stop picking on each other, maybe we'd have some friends.
And that's what happens. They have no friends.
Everybody's bashing. You know, we think it's funny to be sarcastic about someone's life.
It wasn't as cruel. Our roasts were never as cruel as they are today.
What do we have a clip of that we're going to show? Is this your performance?
I don't know.
Yeah?
Oh, yes, I want to see that.
All right.
Okay.
So we got a Deana Martin clip that we're going to show here, where I actually get her name right. Here's Deana Martin.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to meet my daughter, Deana. Oh, there's Deana.
Your love made it worth waiting for someone like every girl would find what I found in your arms. Everybody loves somebody sometime. Balade. Oh. Hey, cantare. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Nel blu dipinto di blu, felice di stare lassù.
Hold on.
That's great.
Hold on for a minute. You got to sing. You have to sing live here for us. You know.
Of course.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Deana's going to sing. That was Charlie Colella conducting.
Yes,
that thing.
conducting.
He
They're
did the
all of
Four
his
Seasons. You know, he was the guy
Yeah.
who did Dawn Go Away. You know, good for
Well,
me.
you know what? He said that they made him one of the Four Seasons because he was the one who could read.
Yeah.
I said, you mean read English or read music? He says, no, just read.
Well, actually, they made him one of the Four Seasons because one of the guys wouldn't go on. I was on the road with them.
Really?
Was it Nikki? Would
Nick
go on?
Massey.
Nikki, you want to hear the story?
Yeah.
I should tell it. All right, I will,
Yeah.
as long as we started it.
Sure.
You know, I didn't take payola as a disc jockey. So how they paid me was to have me MC their shows. And so I took weeks off at a time, and I was on the road with them. And they could pay me and hire me to go out. They didn't need to have an MC, but they gave me money to go and MC the thing. And so I broke their record, the Sherry record years ago, and they wanted to give me a little bone, throw me a bone.
Well,
They
tell
did me-
the audience the truth. That if you saw Jersey Boys, the disc jockey that got fired for playing Sherry all night was this gentleman right here. Without you, there would have been no Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons.
Well, someone else would have done it.
Well, I don't know if they would have played it all night.
4 hours. It's a great show.
But I'll tell you what happened. I was on, we were in Providence, and Nicky came in swearing. And he had the bass voice. I'm not going to take this anymore. And he was coming screaming and swinging. I wondered, what happened? What did I walk into? You know, I was just a disc jockey from Buffalo. Why are you doing this?
Right.
I'm a fan. But he was screaming and yelling because every night they would argue over the suit they were going to wear.
Oh, yes.
They
famous.
had iridescent suits with those thin lapels and different ties. And Nicky says, I'm calling this off. If we're not wearing yellow, I'm not going on. Everybody's going to change the tie to what I'm wearing. I'm not changing my tie to what you're wearing. And that was the big fight.
Always were fights
And he
with
walked
them.
off. Charlie Colella's on.
But they used to have fist fights in the dressing room
Oh, I
every
was
night.
there.
It was like funny.
And then there was Tommy who was making counterfeit money, you know.
Oh, Tommy.
I mean, Tommy was making money. He was making big money. It was about 1/4 of an inch too big. So we're gonna take a little break here and then come back and you're gonna sing for us.
Sure, let's
That
do
would be that would be Stewie Stone is here, and of course Jay the Jock, who's holding up the anchor over here on the desk, and Deana Martin to sing live for us, and she's going to be at Feinstein's on
Sunday
and Monday of this week. Be right back.
Hi, I'm Howard Dvorkin, the founder of Consolidated Credit. For almost 2 decades, Consolidated Credit has helped millions of Americans just like you. We've helped nurses and doctors. We've helped police officers and firefighters. We've helped homemakers and home builders. We've helped over 5 million people suffering from credit card debt. And now we want to help you.
Consolidated Credit is the one company you can trust. Our exclusive Freedom Quest program can help you find options and solutions to your financial challenges. We can reduce your monthly payments by up to 50%, consolidate your bills into one easy payment, save you thousands in interest and fees, and help you get out of debt fast.
When credit card debt is the problem, we're the solution. We've helped over 5 million people. Let us help you.
You're one call away from financial freedom.
Call Consolidated Credit now. 1-800-440-2181. 1-800-440-2181.
Hi, I'm Joey Reynolds. I got a brand new show. It starts on television after about 14 years on radio on NBC's New York Nonstop. It's called All Night. That's when we're on. Between midnight and 2, Monday through Friday. And what the show is called is All Night with Joey Reynolds. We're actually doing the show from the NASDAQ market site, which is at 43rd and Broadway in Times Square. This is a show worth staying up for. all night with Joey Reynolds on NBC's New York Nonstop.
Computer problems? Not a problem for Computer Haven. At a loss at what to do when a computer malfunctions or that inevitable virus strikes? Then call the guys at Computer Haven, the safe place for all your computing needs. Experts in computer and laptop repair, upgrades, and new custom-built PC, desktops, and Macs. Give us a call today, 732-264-1100, or visit us at computerhaven-nj.com.
Deana Martin is here tonight, and this is like the monkey house at the zoo. We got all these people outside. The sound is on out there tonight on a rainy night, and Deana's going to sing, and we're going to see how the crowd builds. All right, Danny, show that a little bit out there now. There's a few people. The hot dog stand is open, so there's some folks who know that this guy who owns that hot dog stand, he's an Egyptian. He now has expanded the franchise. He has 2 hot dog stands. By next week, there's going to be half a dozen of them out there. It's going to look like McDonald's Row. All right, now you got a few people there? All right, show them on camera. Now, watch. Now, Deana's going to sing. Now, watch how the crowd builds. As we cue the orchestra, and Deana Martin starts to sing her song. They see a beautiful woman. They hear a great song, and let's see how the crowd builds over here. Here's Deana Martin.
She gets too hungry for dinner at 8. She loves the theater but never goes late. And she'd never bother with people she'd hate. And that's why the lady is a tramp. Doesn't like dice games with barons and earls. Won't go to Harlem in ermine and pearls. Won't dish the dirt with the rest of the girls. And that's why the lady is a tramp. She loves the free, fresh wind in her hair. Life without care. She's broke, but it's oak. Hates California, 'cause it's cold and it's damp. And that's why the lady's a tramp. She gets too hungry to wait for dinner at 8. She loves the theater, but never, never, never goes late. And she would never bother with those people that she'd hate. And that's why the lady is a tramp. Doesn't like dice games with Sharpies or frost. Won't go to Harlem in Lincolns or Fords. And she will not dish the dirt with the rest of the broads. And that's why the lady is a tramp. She loves the free, fresh, cuckoo wind in her hair. Ooh, a life without care. She's broke, but it's oak. Hates California, 'cause it's cold and it's damp. And that's why the lady, that's why the lady, that's why that chick is a champ.
All right.
Woo!
Deana.
Thank you, Joey.
All right, now you think California's cold and damp.
I know. This is
Anything's
crazy.
going on here.
This
we
is
must have a
crazy.
fungus among us. You know, the crowd is building here. It's raining. You know, I mean, this is like the Today Show done at night. And we got. You can show a little bit of the people there. Put them on camera a little bit. Maybe they'll want a
brave
mug
souls.
shot. But it's kind of interesting to be in a fishbowl, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it.
You know what I did earlier tonight?
What?
I checked the bulletproof glass.
Uh-oh.
You know, there's a little walkway between the glass here and that. I shouldn't be giving that on the air, but, you know, this is in case Obama comes to do the show or someone, you know.
Yes.
Someone who's some senator or, you know, congressman.
Important people.
Yeah, well, you're important.
I know
Come
that.
on, you're
well,
my
we're
guest.
more important, yes.
Yes. And being Italian, are you still Italian?
I'm still Italian and very proud to be Italian.
Thank you. And classic Italian.
Yes.
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 You
In
do
fact, we'll
not-
probably go over to Patsy's or up to Rayo's.
Oh.
Oh.
So when you dip the bread in the sauce, you raise your pinky finger.
Of course.
Yes. Napoleon. What is it? What is it?
Well, I'm a Bruzzese.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
Oh, you're from the riffraff.
Yes,
section. I was there, you know. I went to Calabria.
Calabria, beautiful.
Yes, and it's quite wonderful. I go to Reyes for my meatballs. You know, I was in there yesterday, and someone made a comment that I make fun of them on the air. I don't make fun of them. It's just the 2 shootings we've had.
I understand that.
I don't know why they're mad. Now, you know, Dean Martin is Deana's father. Is that right, Stewie?
That's it.
Right?
The king of cool.
The king of cool. And of
coolest.
course, she sang Uncle Frank Sinatra's song tonight. Now, who did that arrangement?
Charlie Colello. Oh, I don't have to speak into this, do
That's
I?
all right.
Charlie
you don't need
Colello.
that
Aren't they
anymore.
gorgeous?
Yeah, this is like very religious. Welcome to
It
Lent.
was Ash Wednesday yesterday,
Yeah,
wasn't
that's
it?
right.
Yeah.
All right, now you're going to be at Fine Signs on April,
On 13th and 14th, Sunday and Monday night.
March.
March. Oh, yeah, just in
this
a
is
couple days. It's going to be so much fun.
All right, you're so Italian that, do you like Sopranos?
I love The Sopranos.
Well, guess who's here?
Who?
Michael Imperioli.
Christopher?
Yeah. So we'll bring him out here
Okay,
right after
please.
we take a break, okay?
Excellent.
All right, Deana Martin, be right back.
Won't go to Harlem in ermine and pearls. Won't dish the dirt with the rest of the girls. And that's why the lady is a tramp. She loves the free, fresh.
Hi, I'm fitness celebrity Jennifer Nicoli. And if you're busy like me, then stay tuned because I'm excited to share with you the most innovative piece of exercise equipment ever.
Introducing the Ab Circle Pro, the fastest, easiest way to have the flat washboard abs and the sexy V-shape you've always wanted.
Are you struggling to lose those love handles nobody loves? Now there's a machine so advanced, it targets your entire core, upper, middle, and lower abs, and even your obliques, all in one circular motion as it aerobically burns fat in just minutes a day.
The secret is the Ab Circle Pro combines cardio and abs to burn fat, while its unique friction-free track uses the momentum of gravity to target your entire midsection in a full circular motion, firing your core like no other machine has ever done. You'll firm and flatten your stomach in just weeks, not months. We guarantee it. Best of all, it's fun and easy and takes just 3 minutes a day. And watch this. Simply remove the pin, and the Ab Circle Pro becomes a fat-burning bun and thigh machine.
On the Ab Circle Pro, I lost almost 3 dress sizes in a few short weeks.
With the Ab Circle Pro system, I've now lost 60 pounds, I feel great, and I'm one hot mama.
And now, through this exclusive TV offer, the Ab Circle Pro can be yours to try in your home for 30 days for just $14.95. And if you call within the next 10 minutes, we'll send you Jennifer Nicoli's complete Lose Your Love Handle system, which includes our 3-minute express workout and nutritional guide, absolutely free. That's everything you need to transform that body from flab to ab.
You have nothing to lose but inches. So pick up the phone and call now.
Call 1-800-709-1301 to try Ab Circle Pro for $14.95 plus shipping with credit card order. Call now for a free upgrade to priority processing so you'll get your Ab Circle system in 7 to 10 days or less. That's 1-800-709-1301. Call now.
I love doing the show because, you know, I can really, first of all, I can see all these people and don't have to pay. The other thing is, if they could give me 2 drinks, I guess, you know, I'd be home. There's something that goes on here which is very interesting in New York City. We have a culture of people who go unrecognized on the streets. They're stars. Deana could walk out of here any minute, and Stewie Stone, and people would not bother them at all, you know. In LA, there would be something called an agent following them. And they, of course...
with his hand in a pocket.
Michael Imperioli's here. Michael's another modest guy, and if he walks out on the street, no one's going to bother him too much because he's carrying a gun. So here's Michael Imperioli. Come on, Mike. Come on. Hey.
How are you, sir?
Michael, how are you?
Congratulations.
Good. Thank you. That's how we got the show.
Mike.
Good. Nice to meet you.
Oh, good to see you again.
You gonna sit over here? You don't mind, do you? You can have any chair you want, because when we first did the pilot for the show, Michael was the guy on the pilot, and he was one of them, and we were given the green light from NBC because of Mike's great charm, and they thought I was a good interviewer. When actually what it was there was someone under the desk doing my voice.
Right. We did it was the radio show, and you filmed it that night, right?
We have a tape of it, too.
And now here you are in Times Square. People looking in and everything.
See, you didn't think we were going to do this. You thought this
I didn't know what I was thinking.
Yeah, you know, you and Victoria, who is Michael's lovely wife.
She said hello, by the way.
She's great. Mike's a family guy. I mean, not the family that he had on The Sopranos.
No, not.
But he's got a wonder. I mean, I'm going to say this on the air because if it's your first time to know Michael Imperioli, you should know this, not you guys, but the audience. Michael's mother and father are great. And his mother used to work for George Albano, who has the school in Mount Vernon, New York.
That's right.
And he's the best principal in the history of schools, I think, and should be the superintendent, but that's an editorial comment. And Michael's father used to drive a bus. Isn't that right?
In the Bronx.
In the Bronx.
In the Bronx.
So, I mean, he comes from he's a regular guy. And Michael married Victoria, who was Russian-born, I believe, correct?
Yeah.
Am I right? And they did something that most people wouldn't do when they have success and money. They put it in theater. They built a theater and put shows on. First of all, he started to train people who wanted to be actors, young people who wanted to start, and gave good directors a chance, stayed out of the way, and came in once in a while to do the show, to pepper it, you know, when it needed. And he also gave a theater presence, a community in New York, in Manhattan, and on a regular basis with this beautiful space that he and his wife put together. And you know, and plus they have the kids, you know. But this is great. I mean, you do some great things.
Thanks.
And I don't think people go that whole chain with you necessarily, unless they Google you. But I wanted to mention that because I'm so proud to know you. You know, you're such a great giver, but you don't. I know you're humble. You don't think of yourself a giver, but you're a giver.
He's also got a hit show right now.
Well, he's got. Is that the one in Detroit?
Yeah.
Detroit 187. Yeah, we have. There's 3 or 2 more episodes that have to air, for this first season.
It's very gritty.
Yeah.
Very gritty, but real.
Yeah.
Do you film it in Detroit?
We do. Yeah, we film it in Detroit, and which is good because the writers really spent time there and tailored the show and the stories to the city, you know, and the stories come from the city, you know, and at one time they were thinking of shooting it in LA, which really wouldn't have worked because it would have been just more generic, you know, and it's a very specific kind of storytelling, you know, that really deals with the city of Detroit, which is a unique city and has, you know, a lot of its own personality.
I was there, you know.
Did you work there?
Yeah, I think I was there when Bill Bonds was not so.
Did you live there?
I did. I lived on 10 Mile Road in Southfield. I was on WXYZ in Detroit, and I go to the reunions every couple of years because I was only there for 6 months, but I caused so much damage. They never forgot me.
You know, Joey, I spent my honeymoon in Detroit. I was working the Detroit Playboy Club, and my wife was a school teacher in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. My beautiful wife, Franny, and she flew in and we had our honeymoon in Detroit Christmas week. It was the most dangerous place I'd ever been in my life. We were afraid to leave the hotel. It was a motel. I was afraid to leave the motel room. But that was my honeymoon.
Well, I was there in the 60s. I was a disc jockey, and I played the Motown records when they were not allowed to be on the Rooster Tail. You know, none of the acts were going to the Rooster Tail.
What's the Rooster Tail?
It was a club. Yeah. Great club. And we had the 20 grand because black acts could not work at the Rooster Tail in those days.
Where was the Rooster Tail? In downtown?
It was right on the river. Yeah. Right on the Dutoit River, you know. And it was an interesting time for a lot of reasons. I was smoking weed and driving a Mustang metal flake car. So
what year was this?
66.
That's the year I was born.
Yeah, I know. Well, let's not push that.
And the show he's on now plays a lot of Motown records.
Yeah,
too.
we play a lot.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I've got sunshine for a cloudy day. I mean, I was such a big fan of the music, and I knew everybody very well. And Ron Alexenberg's here tonight. You know, he's over in the wings. Ron came to visit. He was a promotion man for not Motown, but for Epic Records and Columbia Records. And I took him to what they call a blind pig. Do you know what that is?
That was a speakeasy, right?
Yeah. So in the middle of the night, when the bars would close, you would go out and drink somewhere, but you had to knock to get in, and they would open the door.
After hours, illegal after hours club.
Yeah, and it was mostly a funky place, and I remember getting into a lot of trouble. I lived at the
I can't
Detroit.
imagine you getting in trouble, John, for some
I
reason.
was there.
I don't know.
I was on the list. So the year you were born, huh? Thanks, Mike.
Remember the other place in Detroit, the London Chap House?
Yeah. Well, that's in Chicago.
No, there's two London houses. The one in Detroit, that's where Barbra Streisand started to make noise.
Yeah.
That's the club that they brought her in, and she really started to make noise there.
Was that near Grosse Pointe? Or is that 9 Mile Road?
Detroit's shaped like a wheel, obviously, because it's a car town. So the spokes are 2 Mile Road, 3 Mile, 4, you know, all the way up. That's how it goes. And it gets wider.
Right.
As the rim gets wider.
New York's the 175th wheel.
The 170. No, I did a show on 9 Mile Road. I was staying with, and it was in the 60s, and I was young, so I couldn't go there alone. So my dad had me stay with Pete Licavoli.
Oh, yeah.
From the Purple Gang, because he had a daughter. And so I stayed with them, so I was safe. And then I did this show at 9 Mile Road, and I would go back to Grosse Pointe every night with the Bruno brothers that would protect me.
I was thinking about Mike's show here. Is it on NBC?
ABC.
It's ABC. Yeah. The Enemy.
Wow.
ABC got sold today, you know.
Really?
The radio did.
Well, the radio, yeah.
Citadel is buying. What is everybody swallowing everybody? It doesn't matter anymore anyway.
It's all the same people doing everything.
But Detroit 107?
187.
187.
Yeah.
Is that a code
That
or is
means
that a
homicide.
home rule?
It's a code for homicide.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
And there's a death every day, which is, you know,
Homicide.
what happens in real life in Detroit.
Now, are you a good guy in this?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'm a detective, homicide detective, who has the best clearance rate of solving, you know, murders in the city.
Yeah, and he's the guy that came from this area out there.
Yeah, I got in trouble.
Do we have a little clip of this?
I don't know, do you?
Do we have a clip of this, Joe?
No, I don't think.
No, we don't. No.
Well, we just talked about it.
Well, because it's ABC.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
No, probably just didn't plan it, that's all. But you know, when you are on the regular movie screen, you always play someone who's believable. But you're not doing a full movie anymore. How come we don't see you do a whole movie? Why don't you do the whole thing?
What do you mean? Do films?
I want to see you like we see some of these guys that they see too much of.
I have a movie that I did last year, a horror movie called Foreclosure.
Yeah.
It's kind of a haunted house movie.
I like those.
I love those.
And then I'm shooting 2 movies this summer that I'm going to star in.
But are you going to be long? I mean, am I
Yeah,
going to see you instead of just coming in with a...
No, I'm the star of the movie.
Good,
I'm the
'cause
lead.
that's what I'm saying.
In all 3 of those movies.
You should be.
Yeah.
Well, thanks. Well,
Did you
you've
see
seen
that
them.
Matt Damon picture, the Adjustment Bureau, yet?
No. You like it?
I thought it was a show on CNN. It's interestingly spiritual.
Really?
Yeah. There's a strange thing. You know Seymour Cassell? You know who he is?
One of my, I brought him on the show.
No
that night,
kidding.
remember?
And a great...
Seymour's in the movie?
No, I was going to say that he would love this film.
Oh, okay.
Because it's so offbeat. But it's method acting, you know, which he's famous for. And Michael's a. If we were to have John Cassavetes still with us,
Right.
or
Okay.
Orson Welles, you would have this guy. He would be with them.
I'm a big fan. No,
Yeah,
I
but I mean, this is the thing that I guess I'm not saying it right, but I like to see him star in a movie because I like his work, and I want to see the whole breadth of it, not just these smaller parts.
He's a good actor.
He's great. As a matter of fact, when you were doing Law and Order, I'm very friendly, as Deana is, with Dennis Farina.
Oh.
And he loved working with you.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and he would always say how great it was and easy it was working with you.
It was his birthday the other day. He's a leap year birthday, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because whatever it is, it's always the day after the 28th.
Right. He's the coolest guy. He's a Chicago cop who became an actor.
He is a nice guy.
And that flat A's accent, which we have from Buffalo.
Yes.
And the Great Lakes. So, Michael, are we going to be seeing you more often on this set now that we're
I
here?
hope so. I'm here, you're here. Are you happy, having fun?
I love this. I don't know how long it's going to last because, it's showbiz. Don't they
That's
take
right.
these things away when you are having...
Well, eventually everything goes away, you know that.
I
So
don't
you
wanna
got to
hear
just
that.
do it to be, while you do it, have fun, and have good people. I mean, you're here at the crossroads of the world. Huh? This is kind of amazing.
That doesn't mean you stay.
I had no idea this was, I walked across the street and I'm like, I look in, I see you. I had no idea it was like right here.
There he is. Okay.
I thought I was going in some building somewhere. And,
Again.
Up the elevator.
Hiding behind a microphone, right? No,
Yeah,
this is we talked about this and we got it done.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
You know,
I'm
and
really
I'm-
happy.
thank
I'm
you.
happy that you
And I-
deserve to be.
You know, I mean, I want to have my friends enjoy this. I'm saying all the things wrong to Mike tonight.
No, you're not. You're great. No, it's good.
Saying, I want to see you do a whole movie.
That's all right. I hope
He's
your
gonna
show
go
lasts
home.
a long time.
Victoria's
Right?
going to say, "What the hell is he talking about?"
That's funny.
But,
a
you
whole
know,
movie.
what?
A whole movie.
A whole movie.
Yeah, I know.
Not just half of
I'm
it.
not.
I want to get tired of seeing you.
I'm not always right.
You're always right, Mike.
But when you get those other kinds of shows where you have the cards and you know all your stuff and it's in front of you like that, I don't do those real well. I mean, I tried one of
It's
those.
predictable and all of that.
Well, I don't do it well because
No.
an actor, like Michael's an actor,
Yes.
and whatever he does, you believe he's the person. And I am not an actor. I just really have my little big mouth, and I'm saying it that way. And I do what I think is right, and I try to hang out with people, and that's it. I mean, I'm an ad-libber. I'm not an actor. And I admire someone who could really remember lines, repeat them, make me believe it's really the person. Someone who gets me into it. Like earlier, I tried to explain the Morton Downey thing, and I played some tapes, and I was thinking, well, maybe I was on too long with this. So how do you act? What makes
How do you act?
How do you
Good question, actually.
Well, you have
See, I do interviews all the time. No one ever asks about acting. They'll ask you about everything else. But I think that's an interesting question. You have to be, I think the most important thing is to be in the moment. Like, really be in the moment, and you're sitting here and just take in everything that's happening and really, don't ignore the circumstances and the situation that you're in, I think that's the most important thing, and to be honest.
It shows.
Well, I don't know if it shows. I mean, that's what we try to do.
It does show with you.
More
We're
or
going to
less
show a clip.
sometimes.
We come up
You
with a
found the
clip now. We ran over to ABC. They said they're not using this on Good Morning America, so we can show it now.
Okay.
Here's a clip from Michael Imperioli, and the show is called Detroit 187. There you go. Here's the scene.
Put this one in a separate bag.
So it looks like we got trauma to the side of the head, lacerations on her cheek, split lip, 19, maybe 20.
Vic's name is Dawn Caulfield. She was a senior, found an hour ago by the roommate. Stone and Sanchez are in the hall talking to her now. Pretty violent thrashing.
Credit cards and money still in here.
Dried blood. There's a struggle. She falls, hits her head. Or somebody slammed her down.
No sign of forced entry.
Most students don't lock their doors. Always got on my own daughters for that.
Jealous boyfriend?
A cell phone. The last 5 calls were to a Quentin.
She's been dating this guy Quentin for the past 6 months.
Did they ever argue or fight?
Maybe a little. About? Keeping secrets. She didn't think he was straight about what he's into.
Do you know how we can contact Quentin?
Lindsay!
Find him?
What the hell's going on? Where's Dawn?
Now, where the hell are you?
That's a great Now, this is a humble guy. He brought a clip, but he's not even in it.
Well, it's a great cast, a lot of really good actors.
Great ensemble.
As you see.
Yeah.
All right.
And the last 2 episodes, my son is going to be in. He plays my son.
Wow.
My son Vadim, because they have my character has a 13-year-old son.
Yeah.
So my son's done some movies, in the past. So he auditioned. He did some plays too. So he auditioned and he got the part.
Wow. Wow. Can you get my daughter in, because she acts like she likes me?
She acts like she likes
That's
me, and
method
she's
acting.
believable.
That's good.
All right, I want to pitch the audience for a minute here. All right, let me just tell them. Even if you don't watch the show, lie, because we want him to have ratings. He's my friend. But
that's true.
If you get near a television set, it's on ABC. It's called Detroit 187. Michael Imperioli, and the show is on when?
It's on Tuesday nights at 10 o'clock on ABC.
So turn NBC off.
Just for an hour.
Just for an hour. And then go back to sleeping with them again. We don't care. It's got a BC in it.
Yeah, it's close.
Oh, Mike, you're great. You're great. Thank you for
Well,
coming.
congratulations.
You don't have to leave, You can stay here. We have food from Sarge's Deli.
I saw that outside.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's all right. I want to give them a plug. And Deana Martin.
Are they
is
open
gonna-
24 hours? Son?
They are.
Yeah,
And there's a booth where I sit under my picture.
Ooh.
Which is kind of nice. It's me
The
and my
Joey
cheesecake.
Reynolds booth?
Yeah.
Did they have a sandwich named?
No,
they
they
don't
didn't
do
go
that.
that far yet.
No.
We're not committed.
It's coming.
That's
It's
nice. I want to go to an Italian restaurant that doesn't have a picture of Sinatra up.
coming. Me too.
Gary.
So you see Deana over at Feinstein's, and Stewie's going to be with Frankie Valli in Westbury, but you also got a thing coming up with Pat Cooper.
Right. It's at the Resorts Casino in Atlantic City. And then I'm going to be with Pat Cooper and I, March 24th. We're going to be at Coconut Creek Casino in Florida.
Wonderful.
Nice.
All right,
So-
well, thank you guys for coming here tonight. I appreciate you sitting on our set and putting up with my foolishness. You come back anytime you want.
Great.
You're
we
the
love
best.
it.
You're the
It's
best.
wonderful. So Deana Martin, and also you can buy her album. Who took it already? The Volare album is out, and also this Memories Are Made of This, which is one of my favorite songs.
Mine too.
Great song by
Thanks.
Deana Martin. All right, and Michael Imperioli and also Jay Sorensen will be right back after we take a little break. We have the original cast that got us the pilot and made this show possible, the one that you're watching. Be right back.
Who was on?
Bam's Auto Body, located on Liberty Avenue in Ozone Park, is a one-stop shop equipped with all the latest technologies to fix your car or truck right the first time. We work with all major insurance companies and specialize in collision, theft, and vandalism repair. Call anytime to check your vehicle status. Speak with our dedicated and knowledgeable staff. We offer a 100% written guarantee on all repairs and a lifetime warranty on all paint repairs. Bam's Auto Body. We'll get your vehicle fixed, no matter what.
Computer problems? Not a problem for Computer Haven. At a loss at what to do when a computer malfunctions or that inevitable virus strikes? Then call the guys at Computer Haven, the safe place for all your computing needs. Experts in computer and laptop repair, upgrades, and new custom-built PC, desktops, and Macs. Give us a call today, 732-264-1100, or visit us at computerhaven-nj.com.
Hi, I'm Joey Reynolds. I got a brand new show. It starts on television after about 14 years on radio on NBC's New York Nonstop. It's called All Night. That's when we're on. Between midnight and 2, Monday through Friday. And what the show is called is All Night with Joey Reynolds. We're actually doing the show from the NASDAQ market site, which is at 43rd and Broadway in Times Square. This is a show worth staying up for all night with Joey Reynolds on NBC's New York Nonstop. So Michael Imperioli's got a movie. He's got a couple movies, but you don't promote them yet. You haven't made them yet.
I didn't make them yet. I gotta go shoot them and then I'll promote them.
Are you sure you're going to do them?
I have one that I made that's gonna come out soon, called the one I mentioned called Foreclosure. Am I sure I'm gonna do it? Well, you're never sure until you're on the set shooting. But
Do they give you the money in advance?
No, nobody gives you money in
They don't
advance.
do that.
Only you do. Nobody gives you money in advance.
When we first put together this pilot, which we talked about with you on it, there were some other people involved, and we shot it for a couple days. And we wanted to make sure that we showed NBC that we were able to do a television show. So we had to have a television star. So we got you.
There you go.
And you were great, and thank you, because I owe my career to you now for this.
Please.
Thank you, sir. And the other people involved were a few friends, Dave Konig, David, and also Brandon Ruckdashel, who is on the Cinemax. He's on the soft porn channel. And at the time, he was at the Hard Rock Cafe. Now he's at the Soft Rock Cafe. And we have with us also a guy who is funny, Stephen Scott. Remember these guys, Mike? I don't know if you remember seeing them, but here's the gang that couldn't shoot the pilot straight.
Mr. Konig,
Yes, please.
Folks. Paparazzi, stay away.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sure,
Please.
Thank you very much.
Hi, how are you? This is the most amazing show on television. Let me tell you why. You open with 52 minutes of outtakes of Morton Downey Jr., then you get a 30-minute clip of Michael's TV show. Michael's not even in the clip.
Hey, Joey.
Unbelievable.
Hey, Mike.
up, man?
Good to see you.
How are you?
And Brandon's over there.
How are you?
Good.
How are you
I'm over here
guys?
in Alaska.
This is fantastic. I love being here with Times Square. I feel like J. Fred Muggs. I figured if Stewie could throw out the topical Dave Garroway reference.
Say, there's a reference.
So how about it? We got Michael Imperioli here. We got him to leave the house.
This is
I'm
fantastic.
gonna leave the house on a rainy night.
We got him back from Detroit.
No, we were in the green room, and I was trying to do that show business cool thing of, like, not going up to him and say hi, and then finally I just gave up the ghost and I just went, hi, I really love your work. Because you're so great, and you are. You're terrific.
Thank you.
We worked together on a TV show almost 20 years ago, but not. I was a host of a late night comedy show on HBO.
That wasn't that Catholic hour, was it?
No. That was long before that. There was a show on HBO called Hardcore TV, and they did a sketch.
Oh, right. Bensonhurst 11210.
That's right. It was a takeoff on Beverly Hills 90210.
That was an awful sketch.
It was an awful show.
I don't know about the show. I never saw the show.
Now
The
your
ske-
career soared though after that.
The
and
sketch
mine,
was
you know.
the sketch was terrible.
Yeah.
My
I mean,
career
just
soared out to
terrible.
hardcore too. I mean, that's ridiculous. He was on hardcore TV.
But we were so excited when you came on the set because you had just done Goodfellas, and everybody
That was
very
a long time ago.
Yeah,
right?
it was a long time ago.
We shot that on the Upper West Side.
Yeah.
The streets there.
Hey, Spider, come here. Go get me some.
Can you do your impression of Michael Imperioli? I mean,
I don't have no, you know who I do? Well,
You got somebody he
Dom
knows.
is a friend, and he always makes me do James Gandolfini as Tony Soprano. I said he should do NyQuil ads. He's always congested. 7 seasons on that show.
What the hell's the matter with you? I got the nighttime sniffle and cheesy coffee. I can start me have fever. Christopher, give me a freaking tissue. What's the matter with you? What the hell?
When we were putting this together, Brandon Ruckdashel was sneaking out to make dirty movies.
He's a porn star.
I was not sneaking out. I mean, my parents thought I was sneaking out, but I was not sneaking out. It was a lot of fun. She was Filipina. I mean, you know Filipinas. It's a lot of adobo chicken. I mean, you just take the adobo and you just,
Michael, I don't know if you've ever seen Brandon.
Wait a second.
It's not just me. Okay.
Kind of on the same page here.
Go fast. Do you watch Cinemax at night?
Or HBO or Showtime now. I'm on Showtime now.
Have you tooled around and seen
What
Brandon?
show are you on?
I've got 2 movies. I got one that's called specifically Sex Spirit, of course, and then my better one, which is Cougar School. I mean, we all love the Cougars. And my series is Coed Confidential on Cinemax.
So you're essentially you're a porn star as well.
Well, no, I'm a softcore
it sounds
star.
that way.
I'm a porn star back in Minnesota, but here in New York, I mean, the stuff I do is not nearly dirty enough for New Yorkers to be a porn star. So.
Oh, okay, this is all stuff on.
Oh, I remember you. I saw you on Spec Revision in my hotel room.
You want to remember me?
Good.
You want to remember me? Here. Can you remember that? There you go. Remember that. There you go.
No, sorry, I mixed you up. Wrong guy.
No, I cleaned the hair up. It used to be down on my shoulders. So. Yeah.
Brandon, you went through that whole experience of living in Los Angeles and becoming a movie star. I think you should share a little bit of how you take the bus.
It wasn't the movies I thought I was going to be doing, but I've got a great manager for that. No, I moved to LA like 4 years ago. I moved out there with like literally my backpack, my camera, my computer, credit cards, no money, and I realized there was a bus. Shh, don't tell any of the LA people. There's a bus, and there's, better yet, a subway.
They have a subway now?
They have a subway. They've had a subway for years.
It's not a big deal.
Well, it goes 3 blocks between North Hollywood and downtown. But it's great because I lived out there for 2 years without a car and worked all throughout Los Angeles County. Never needed a car the whole time I was there.
That's impressive.
Until I finally got tired of the place and moved back to New York.
Somebody said, "What's happening to Brandon?" I said, "He's a busboy in L.A."
I am, with every other Mexican that takes the red bus that's like that big, It's good.
Any other ethnic groups we can alienate on this show?
I am not alienating. I love my taco trucks and I miss them. You go out to LA much?
I do.
You miss the taco trucks?
They're delicious.
I love it. And the koji tacos, the Korean tacos are fantastic.
That I haven't had. No.
Oh, you haven't had those?
This is the cast of the pilot that got you this deal.
How the heck did we get you on the
How
air?
did you end up on the air?
Tonight is the night they're going to cancel the show because of this pilot.
Full circle.
We're waiting for our check.
Michael, before you leave here tonight, I wanted to ask, because Brandon and I happened to see an Ascension he was off Broadway and he got an award-winning role. It's got great reviews, and where he plays a kid who actually seduces the priest. It's the reverse role, and he was great in it. And as a result of it, he got other things, and then he moved to film and now television. But I wonder if you have any acting tips you can give this young man here. Or if there's anything you want to know, so you guys can maybe make that little
I don't know.
connection.
I mean, he's
here.
working. I was going to ask him for tips. He's working.
Well, actually,
getting
the most
jobs.
famous advice that Betty Davis gave to a young actor, since we're talking about L.A. He goes, "Oh, Miss Davis, well, I'm a young actor. Can you give me some advice in show business?" And the advice was, take Fountain.
Take Fountain?
Take Fountain.
Take Fountain.
That'll only be funny if you're from LA. But
That's
that's a real story.
That's a
now you
street.
know, yeah, it's a street. Like
No, that's right. That's
Yeah.
that's good.
That's what you
North
told the young
south.
guy to take
It's
Fountain,
actually one of the
dude.
fastest north-south streets. That's great. That's great. I thought she was going to say Quaaludes, but that's a whole nother.
That was her
story.
second advice.
Can you at least do a Betty Davis impression when you do the anthem?
Well, I only do that for you when we're alone. I don't do that.
Oh, yeah, we'll leave that alone.
Is there anything you want to know while you got this guy here?
Well,
Because you're never going to see him again except on the screen.
How do you get
There's
through?
going to be a restraining order taken out. Right after the show.
The best question I think a young actor can ask someone who's seasoned and has more experiences.
Can you
how
lend
do
me
you
some
get
money?
No, I mean seriously. Like, how do you get through the waiting? How do you get through the waiting? Because being an actor is most about being able to get through the waiting periods.
Waiting
between your
on
projects.
set or waiting between projects?
Between your projects, on set. How do you get through the waiting?
Well, I think you just have to really love your life, and the people in it, and the things you do, not in work, and just be. So you're not waiting. So you're just happy.
That
you're
works.
happy when you're working. You're happy when you're not working.
Actually, Tom Hanks tells a story, or these two kids, this young actor tells a story. He met Tom Hanks, asked him a very similar question. Hey, Mr. Hanks, I'm a young actor. What can I do? And the word was very simple, one word. He said, persevere. That was Tom Hanks' advice about acting.
I think I'm going to take Fountain.
Take
and take foam.
All right, now, I want to go to the clip that we have of the pilot.
This is the pilot that got you
The
this
Joey
show.
Reynolds pilot?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Oh, wow.
And then Mike is going to slip out of here, so when we come back, he didn't walk out because he didn't like it. He's going home.
Joey, you got fans. There's 2 people in the street.
Thanks.
It's
And
great.
They have their clothes on.
They do have their clothes on. They didn't know I was on the show.
No.
Hi, how are you? Oh, look, they're cute. There we go. Hi.
Hey, I told you
What is
to
this?
wait in the car.
Syracuse.
I told you to wait in the car.
If you want to see clips of Brandon's new movie, go down to 8th Avenue. You can watch it for 25 cents a pop.
Hey, wave at the camera. It's over there. There you go. We got fans.
All right, here's everybody with their clothes on. This is the pilot that got this show on the road here with Michael Imperioli, Brandon Ruckdashel, Dave Konig, and Stephen Scott. Here we go.
It's exciting.
What a show.
All right, now that was done 50 years ago by the Four Seasons, and they're singing on TV and radio. Now, how prophetic is that? I didn't say pathetic. I said, how prophetic is that? Now, you know, and I'm wearing headsets, I'm on the radio, and I'm unshaven, and I'm wearing a shirt that's not ready for prime time. And we want to, thanks. We want to make a convergence of, that's our first blip. We want to make a convergence. We want to go from radio to television, you know. So I figured, all right, we'll get the most attractive people in town. But they were booked. So we wound up getting people who are very well known for their craft, you know, I mean, people who actually have talent. Now, I know television's not used to talent. They say America's got talent, but not much. And, you know, we have a little bit of a wrinkle on this show, and some on my puss. But I was thinking maybe, you know, I got to get ready for the TV thing, and since this is a radio show, we don't want to be like Imus, you know, where you really actually put a radio show on television and ignore television. And you don't want to be like Howard, because we don't have that much, well, first of all, it's a lingerie party, you know, we'd like that, but I would not be able to concentrate on what we're really going to do for a living. And then Jay Leno, you know, the only difference between me and Jay Leno is one is an old person with young hair. And I want to make known that this show is totally unique, and I'm not stealing anything from any other hosts. We're not taking anything from Conan or Jay or we're not taking anything from anybody. You know, that's why the show has got to be something that's like Larry David, you know. Larry David came along and he redefined these reality shows. You know, he was just himself, and I think probably a little bit of a pain in the ass, right? So I'm gonna try to be just myself. I am gonna be myself. I'm not gonna try. I'm gonna be myself. So the first thing I want to do is to bring some of the major talent that we have here in the studio on the air with me, and I thought we could start with Stephen Scott, whose father is on television in New York as Marvin Scott, the newsman. And Stephen's got his own talent, but it's not showing much now.
No, I'm being patient.
How are you? How are you, Steve?
I'm doing good. I'm always good when I'm on here with you, Joe.
Well, you know, radio is different, though, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Because you have to really pay attention to your voice. When you're on stage as a comedian or on television, you know, you can make nuances or things.
Yeah.
It's almost like when you're emailing to somebody. You have to put the little smiley face in there so they know, they know your tone.
Now, you know, you also have a talent of making sounds with music, and you live in an apartment, and you made your mother crazy.
I know.
And all the neighbors.
Every time I used to ask for a musical instrument, now you can have a musical instrument. We live in an apartment, but it's a bit too loud to get us to the neighbors now. So what I used to do is I'd learn to, like, all my friends had cool musical instruments. My friends got drum sets. My friend Dave played trumpet in the band at school. And so what I'd do is go to his house, and he'd play the real trumpet, and he'd do scales. And with my voice, I'd just imitate exactly what he was doing. And we'd kind of like, we'd just do scales together, just be like... See what I mean? Who needed that?
Yeah, but you can't do anything else besides the trumpet, right?
Well, yeah. Well, then I got to start getting cocky, and I started learning other instruments. I had to learn saxophone. Dated a girl, thought it was sexy because Rob Lowe played it in the movie St. Elmo's Fire. Remember that?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So I'd serenade her with this invisible saxophone, and I was like... See? Working on the ladies.
Yeah.
And Dave Konig. Yeah.
Dave, well, I got to introduce Dave here, but go do another instrument here.
Okay, well, I learned some harmonica. Like, that could come in handy if I ever go to prison someday.
Got it down.
Me and Bernie Madoff can jam.
Yeah.
And then, of course, getting in high school, got into my wild and crazy heavy metal years, and what instrument did I want to learn how to play?
Which is?
Accordion. No, it's electric guitar. So I go to my room, whip out my best imaginary Fender Stratocaster, and wail away in these invisible guitar licks like.
That would be a deal breaker. That's good. That's great. That's great, Steve. All right, now David Konig is here tonight too, and Dave has always been my choice for somebody who really should be a late night TV talk show host.
Well, I got to tell you, it's a thrill to be here with you on this. You're shooting this pilot. This is fantastic. And,
Yeah.
I think we're all pretty good. And by the way,
never say shoot a pilot.
Yeah,
Not with Continental Airlines sponsoring you.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. That's true. That would be a poor choice of word. But exciting to be here with you on television and on radio. Nice of you to shave too for the TV thing.
No, I'll get there. I'll get there. Come on. I'm in the grunge period of my life right now. Well, I figure I hide a lot of sins.
Yeah. You are the Kurt Cobain of late night talk.
Is that
radio.
right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Now, David, you have a one-man show.
Doing a little one-man show. That's right.
And you were a Jew.
I was a Jew.
And you were a Catholic.
Yeah, then I converted to Catholicism.
And you went back.
Then I switched back to being a Jew. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Because you wanted to lose 10 pounds of ugly fat.
Yeah, well, apparently I just, Well, no, here's what happened. I'm a Jew, and my wife was Catholic. My wife is Catholic. And then we had to decide what to do with so we're raising the kids Catholic,
Yeah.
They're raising the kids Muslim, just to mix it up.
Well, no, we're raising the kids Catholic, which actually works out fine.
Yeah.
Except I think my kids might be a little anti-Semitic.
Why?
A little. You hear comments. I don't want to make a big deal.
Oh, no, please do.
The other day, my 4-year-old son asked me if I'd buy him his own real car. I thought that was kind of cute. I said, no, Daddy can't do that. That would cost too much money. You know what he said?
What?
He said, you people. That's all you ever think about. My kids built a clubhouse in the backyard. I asked if I could join. My 8-year-old pulled me aside. He said, look, give her up to me. Joey, the other day, I told my kids to turn off the TV. When I left the room, I swear one of them said, see, I told you they controlled the media.
Well, you're ready for television.
I'm ready for television?
You got to take those earphones off, though.
I'm ready for... Yeah.
I think wearing these things is kind of like makes us stupid, doesn't it? I mean, to have these things on.
What?
You like them?
What?
Do you wear these outside of the studio? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah. That might be a problem there.
I don't want to hear anything outside. The guy over there is Brandon Ruckdashel.
The handsome fellow over there.
Yeah.
Brandon's
a sex idol,
I'm a sex idol now.
Yeah.
This is good. I like this. This is a step up. What is this a step up from? A non-sex idol? Or
From an out-of-work actor.
Okay. I'm mostly a drinker with an acting problem, but
Well, you are a guy who does have 80% waiter, 20% acting, but no more waiting. You don't wait anymore.
I don't wait anymore. I haven't waited for 2 years now.
Since you got kinky
Actually,
on television.
I wait more now that I'm on TV than I waited before when I was waiting.
Do you know anything about this show, the Cinemax show that's called Co-Ed Confidential? Have you heard?
Are you
this
asking me if
any one of you?
I know he stars in it. He stars in it.
He's amazing on it, and he has sex with everybody.
He's abnormally handsome, this guy. He's abnormally handsome. Like there's a problem here.
Okay, now
this man is freakishly handsome.
Okay, 2 guys gushing over you. I don't know whether to blush or run. So,
does the fact you have sex with everybody have anything to do with the show, or is that just an anecdote?
Oh, no. That's just how I got the show. We're going to be right back. The Joey Reynolds Show live from New York. There will be a woman in just a moment. A beautiful lady. I promise you that. Oh, boy. Well, this is the original cast, minus one.
We were killing with the canned laughter there. They loved us.
You know what? That was a studio audience, Dave. What are you talking about?
It's great.
I don't know how this show ever got picked up.
But you know how it's going to be.
Hey, whatever works.
How it's going to be dropped. No, it was fun. I mean, it was fun.
Well, you captured some of the fun that we had, on the old radio show, and that was always a joy to go down there at 5 o'clock in the morning.
But you're not the only one who had a conversion. You went from Catholicism to Judaism, and I went from radio to television.
That's right. Right.
So which one's holier?
You converted up, and I converted sideways and backwards.
Well, there's more money in church than there is in television.
Listen, you did the smart show business thing. You went from radio to television. I did the stupid show business thing. I was a Jew, and then I converted to Catholicism. Real smart show business move. Then I went back to being a Jew.
At least you're already circumcised.
There you go.
Oh, here we go. Only Brandon would know about
I know. How do you know that?
Because
Dave, you want to tell us something about you and Brandon?
It's a circumspect thing. Anyways.
When Brandon.
Yeah?
It's a circumindecision.
Circumindecision?
Yeah, that's what you...
Let's just circumnavigate the whole discussion, all right?
Beat me to it.
All right, we're going to come back with some entertainment. Wait,
Yes.
that doesn't
Hey,
sound,
that's a good
not
idea.
good.
Yes.
We'll come back with some music. And the music tonight, you know, we have a band that's here live in the studio. I know there's no
I hate those dead bands.
It's not a canned band. The Bassenettes, and they'll be right out here in just a minute.
Yay.
Hi, we're the Bassenettes, and we're going to be playing characters on April 1st. We're going to rock your world. We're so happy to be on the show tonight, and we'll see you real soon.
New York celebrities have something to say. They head for the stoop.
This is my stoop. I gotta come to the stoop.
Talk Stoop.
I feel like we're so close that we could kiss. This is a whole other kind of stoop.
It's where Kat Greenleaf gets people talking.
What? Really?
Yep.
That's amazing. Yes. Listen, Naked. Do you mind if I call you Naked?
Tell me something good. The best of New York on a stoop in Brooklyn.
The celebrity butts that have graced the stoop.
Talk Stoop, weeknights at 8 on New York Nonstop. Sponsored by Cozy. Life should be delicious.
I'm an anchor and a pilot.
I am passionate about chocolate.
I am a ballerina.
I'm the daughter of a jazz musician.
I am a 4-time New York Golden Glove champion.
I'm a grandpa.
Yeah, I'm a grandma.
I'm interested in the story behind the story.
I'm making this look natural.
I am glamorous.
I'm an anchor and a blues girl.
I am all about my craft.
I am New York.
I am New York.
I'm a New Yorker.
I am New York.
I am New York.
I recommend a steak.
This place is
I recommend this place.
We're all about New Yorkers. LX New York. It's the story of the moment. A taste of the best. It's opening night. A helping hand. The characters of New York. The spirit of New York. Told our way. LX New York. Weekdays at 5. We're all over town.
Larry Basson, Pat Adkins, Willa Basson. Is that right? And I got Dan Begelman. Do I got the whole crew here? All right. Now this is the this group here plays around town, and people like them very much, and so we figured we should put them on TV.
Absolutely.
That's a good enough reason.
I
ain't it?
think so. Plus, you got time to fill.
No. This is not. These are not time fillers. That's
The
your-
pilot
that's
was
what
a
I'm
time
here for.
filler.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Morton Downey. takes
Morton
it.
Downey Jr. for 42 minutes was
Here
time.
are the Bassenettes.
Yay!
Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality. Open your eyes, look up to the skies and see. I'm just a poor boy, I need no sympathy. Easy come, easy go, little high, little low. Any way the wind blows doesn't really matter to me. To me. Mama just killed a man, put a gun against his head, pulled my trigger, now he said, Mama, life had just begun, but now I've got it, thrown it all away. I don't wanna die. Scaramouche, will you do the fandango? Thunderbolt and lightning, very, very frightening me.
Galileo, Galileo, Figaro.
And here we go. Easy come, easy go, will you let me go? Bismillah, no, we will not let you go, let me go. Bismillah, we will not let you go, let me go. Bismillah, we will not let you go, let me go. Will I let you go, let me go, will I let you go?
Let me go.
Mamma mia, mamma mia, let me go. Beelzebub has a devil put aside for me, for me, for me. So you think you can stop me and spit in my eye? So you think you can love me and leave me tonight? Oh, baby, can't do this to me, baby. Just gotta get out, just gotta get right out of here. Nothing really matters, anyone can see. Nothing really matters, nothing really matters to me. Any way the wind blows.
Oh, yeah! Whoa. Yeah! Woo! We won't need the canned applause for this. So, Willie, you played with Keith Richards, right?
I did. I had a recording
How
studio.
did you play with Keith Richards?
Well, he was recording Talk is Cheap, which was his first solo album, at my recording studio. And they would show up around 8 o'clock, and he would just come in and start playing. And anyone that wanted to play with him could play with him. Of course, we wouldn't get any credit, but, you know, we all got to play with Keith Richards.
A lot of women have played with Keith Richards.
That's very true.
Without a studio. Now, when you had the studio, you also did some themes for some people, right?
Yeah, we did the theme for Clarissa Explains Everything.
And?
We wrote the title song for the original movie of Hairspray.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you got some pretty good chops here. You got working with your husband?
My brother.
Oh, see, I don't know. I don't know the relationship here. I haven't been. Yeah. It wasn't explained to me.
Yeah, no, we've all actually been playing together since we were kids. So.
All you guys?
Yeah.
What? They didn't start in your cellar, did they? In your basement?
No, we started in our bedroom. You know, nothing about that.
No, I didn't say anything. I wasn't going there. But I started. You know, when I was a teenager, which was a long time ago in a galaxy far away, I had a little group of kids I hung around with from school, and we were in the basement. That's what we did, you know?
Yeah, well, we actually all did a lot of jamming in the basement.
Yeah, well, in my particular...
Much to my mother's chagrin.
And mine, too. My mother never grinned. But, you know, we had a good gathering of people. We would dance. We'd play the 45s, you know, with the little records with the big hole. And we would dance, and I gave myself a hickey. So I would kind of give the girls the idea of what they were there for.
I see.
You know, it was priming the pump. A little, yeah, it was a roadmap, yeah. But that's how we start. In those days, you know, we had transistor radios under the pillow, and I'm sure you're not that old. You don't know this.
Believe it or not, no, I actually did. I listened to WMCA.
Oh, you did? With the good guys?
The
that
good
big
guys,
smile and that big face?
Yeah,
well,
and we
know,
all used to play in the basement. We used to play high school dances, you know, a long time ago. That's how we started.
Well, you know, Freddie Mercury lives with you guys.
Thank you so much.
Wonderfully, you know, because he was one of my favorite artists. I thought he had the widest range since probably Lloyd Price has a good one who is still with us. But of the ones who are gone, it would be Jackie Wilson.
Right.
You know, Jackie Wilson had that far. He and Roy Orbison
Right.
and Freddie Mercury, I think, came in later with.
Yeah, and I often wonder if he was alive now, what he would be doing. I think he'd be doing incredible stuff.
Yeah, he'd be here, in a window, in the rain,
Probably.
looking at Walgreens, waiting for the sign to change. No, but where do we see you perform?
We're going to be playing at a club called Characters, which is on 54th Street, right across from the Roundout Theater, which used to be Studio 54.
Sure.
It's between Broadway and 8th. We're going to be there on April 1st.
Yeah, you remember
Friday
Studio
night.
54, right?
I certainly do.
Yeah. Did you ever? Were you a part of the crowd?
You know, I never was, but I used to hang out at a bar right across the street called the Triple Inn, and we used to watch all the characters from Studio 54 come filing in.
Yeah, you mean all the dealers?
Well, the dealers and the people looking for the dealers.
Yeah, I know. I think right now we should plug again the name of the club, Characters.
Characters.
And you're there when?
April 1st on 54th Street between Broadway and 8th.
This is not an April Fool's joke. You're not. I mean, you're really going to be there,
No,
right?
absolutely not.
The Bassettes?
The Bassenettes.
Bassenettes.
And that's because our last name is Bass, and so, you know.
Oh, I get it.
We
All
made
right.
a joke.
Actually, we'll be celebrating Willard's birthday there.
Oh, that's true.
Well, thank you
We're
for...
not going to say which one.
Oh, I wasn't going to bring that up either. But thanks for being here tonight, and I hope you enjoy the show.
We're having a great time.
And you guys are great. You're really
Thank
fabulous.
you.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
All right, I'm going to go over to the table now and join these clowns.
Okay.
You know, you remember Stephen Sondheim sending the clowns?
Yes.
Well, they arrived. Should I go over there and just walk? We're going to take a break first? All right. I never know what we're going to do on the show, and neither does anybody else. Isn't it amazing to have a television show where nobody knows what's going to happen?
And yet, it all seems to work out.
Does it?
Yes.
I don't know about that part. No, it's fun. It's just actually fun to hang out with you guys. You're very talented, and thank you for being
so
here
much.
tonight. It's wonderful music. And we'll see you on April 1st over at the Character, okay?
Okay.
Be right back.
That was great.
But now I've got it, thrown it all away. I don't wanna die. I sometimes wish I'd never been born at all.
I'm Elizabeth Hasselbeck. If you're like me, you probably don't have a lot of free time to exercise and keep yourself in shape. For me, the answer is the Ab Glider from Proform. I can't tell you how much I love this amazing machine. It's a great fat-burning cardio workout too, and it's fun.
Unlike other ab machines, the Ab Glider combines circular and crunch motions for a fast, fun workout of your entire midsection. You engage more muscles, get a better cardio workout, and burn twice the calories of other ab machines.
I went from an 11 to a size 4. 20 inches total. It's really easy and it's fun.
With this offer, you'll get an onboard workout computer, Elizabeth's 3-minute rapid results DVD, and her amazing abs instructional DVD, plus her amazing abs eating guide, a $159 value, free. Try the Ab Glider now for 30 days, risk-free for as little as $14.95. If you're not totally satisfied, you can return it for a full refund.
You can't find a better way to get better abs at a better price. And getting started is easy. Just call or go online to proform.com.
Are you holding the remote right now? It's nice to be in control, isn't it? To fast forward to the good parts? Oh, hold on. We're getting to the good part. If you're receiving a structured settlement from a lawsuit, you know it is not easy to wait for payments, especially when it could be 10 or 20 years before you collect all your money. What you may not know is that you can skip ahead and receive a lump sum of cash now. Call CBC Settlement Funding for a free, no-obligation offer about your structured settlement. Whether you access all or just a portion of your future payments, we put you in control so you can fast forward and collect your money now. If you need cash now, call the number on your screen and find out how CBC Settlement Funding can help. We'll guide you through the process so you can take control of your finances and get your money faster. Call CBC Settlement Funding today.
I've had a little too much Dr. Brown.
A little caffeine in that cell, right,
So
Tom?
come on, Konig. Now
What?
you've
Yes.
taken up all the space.
What did I do?
You've taken up all the space tonight.
I took
Poor
up nothing.
Brandon hasn't had a chance to take his clothes
did
off.
an hour and a half
Come
of
on.
Morton Downey Jr.
Joey needs his excitement. I need to take my top off. I mean, you know.
Well, you know, we took yoga together for a long time, and I always see Brandon. We'd always have our clothes off.
Oh, it's great. He was behind me. I was in downward dog. It was fantastic.
Wait, so basically, you found your center? Is that what we're saying
Yeah,
here?
we did.
Okay.
Usually it was during like
Yoga,
standing.
wink, wink.
Yeah, we do the Bikram yoga, but now,
Is that what they're calling it now?
So then
Bikram
I go
yoga?
home and I watch him on television. And
All right, that's your story,
He's got
Joey.
nothing on at all. I mean, you're unbelievable on that thing.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
You two want to be alone? We can...
No, it's all right. I mean, I call it the jackhammer. The Filipina gets in front of me and I jackhammer. I mean, it's great.
But that's all a very hit. It's a hit show, isn't it?
There's a lot of hits on the show, yes. It is. It's a hit show. A lot of people watch it. Internationally, it's in like 20 countries. It's all over America. We're on HBO in Canada. I'm in Puerto Rico. That's really
Well, do you
odd,
like
but-
older women? Do you like a cougar?
Oh, I love cougars.
All right, so is it?
Yeah.
What, if a
they can buy you so much.
You trying to hook them up with Myra?
You're playing Zach again. Now, if a cougar is an older woman who likes younger guys,
Yeah.
right? Then what's an older guy who likes younger women?
A pervert.
A normal guy, a regular guy.
We've gone back and forth with Silver Fox is one. Jaguar. I think Jaguar Joey is a good term.
Jaguar Joey.
Jaguar Joey. What do you think? An older man who likes the younger sensibilities in life.
Well, you know, you're on Facebook now, and you've been for a long time. You were working the room a long time ago before anybody that I knew.
I love working the room.
And you're one of the first ones to have a blog, to have Facebook, to keep his fan base intact. Everybody loves Brandon Ruckdashel. He's got a big fan base. And I have so many hits now on Facebook that I've declared war.
You've declared war.
On Demi Moore.
On Demi Moore?
Yeah.
What did she do? I mean, aside from Ashton Kutcher.
He's got all the hits, and I'm up there now.
Yeah.
I'm filled up.
You are?
They won't take any more hits.
No.
I had to get another account. How many you got?
I only have like one. I saw you had 3 the other day. I tried to friend you. I didn't know which one was you. Each one is like varying degrees of like turning into Joey on TV. It's fantastic.
Stephen, you could be on this series with Brandon. Very
Oh,
easily.
cool. I just want to say that today's show is being brought to you by the letter I.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, you really could. You could be on the show. You'd be great.
They're in a hurry to play
a job's a job.
to get another song on here so we can end the show. But you guys started the show, so let's end it.
This is the way you got the show, and this is the end of this show.
Yeah.
But then you'll be back tomorrow with another show.
Brandon Ruckdashel, of course, Stephen Scott, and Dave Konig, who's going to be appearing
at the Metropolitan Room Wednesday night, March 23rd, 9:30 show. I'm taping my comedy CD, so come on out.
And here's the Bassenettes to close us out. Let us smile, be your umbrella, but don't get a mouthful of rain. Thanks, guys.
I'm on a lonely ride, I am traveling, looking for something. What can it be? Oh, I had you some my love, me some. Oh, I love it when I forget about me. I wanna have strong, wanna belong to the living, alive. Wanna get up and shout, wanna wreck my stockings on the jukebox. Do you see how you hurt me, baby? Then I hurt you too, and we both got so blue.
There are 13,000 cabs in New York City, but there's only one that pays you. Climb into the cash cab and I will quiz you all the way to your destination. As the meter clicks, the questions get harder and the stakes get higher. You get stumped, you can shout out for help on the phone or off the street.
Excuse me, sir.
But be careful, my friend, because in this ring, it's 3 strikes and you're out. So what do you say?
NY.com to learn how you could win a pass to go near the front of the audition line.
The following is a paid advertisement for the Ab Coaster, brought to you by TriStar Products. Today on Living Well with Montel, America's waistlines are exploding, and there seems to be no end in sight.
And you've heard the expression, Montel, Houston, we have a problem here.
Gotcha.
This is not a healthcare crisis. This is a healthcare nightmare.
Well, stay tuned, because Montel's guests and his medical dream team will tell you that the battle of the bulge can still be conquered, and it's easier than you think.
And how much total weight have you lost?
27 pounds.
That was it before. You had a couple extra pounds, right? But now one more time with the after. Take a look at this.
How'd they do it? With Montel's latest Living Well product. You won't want to miss this.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. America's obsession with obesity has become epidemic, and health statistics prove it. But whether you have a weight problem, you need to lose that bulging belly, or you just want to look and feel better, I'm going to show you how to do it with this amazing machine right here called the Ab Coaster. Now check it out. You simply kneel down on the soft cushion seat, you hold onto the hand grips, then you bring your knees up and you start coasting. You see how smooth the rail system keeps me in perfect form every single way. It's my secret weapon to a trim, slim midsection, and of course, fantastic abs. Now, the people and results you're going to see on today's show are not typical, but if you simply follow the system, you too can be on your way to a firm waistline. And guess what? Today I'm going to introduce something really crazy. It's called the Ultimate Abs Challenge. Send in your best before and after photos thanks to the Ab Coaster, and if you're chosen, you could win $10,000 plus a $3,000 shopping spree for your new Ab Coaster body. It's TV worth watching, so you know what you got to do. You got to stay tuned.
Just ahead, see what Montel's panel of experts have to say about how to really get in shape and stay that way.
And what's great about this is that in 4 minutes, you can really see some phenomenal results. But also, if you're a beginner, this works for you.
And find out the secret to obtaining gold medal abs from 2 former Olympic champions.
Olympic gold medalist Deana Martin!
It's a product called the Ab Coaster, and it's fabulous, and it really targets that core.
Give it up for Peter Benmore!
Stresses the muscle more, but it doesn't stress the joints anymore. So that's the brilliance of this.
Plus, see why one local gym relies on the Ab Coaster to keep their customers in ab sculpting shape.
We want to provide the best environment, the best equipment to give our members the best results possible. And that's why we do choose the Ab Coaster.